everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you're doing well. We are back. We have a very early Game Week 4 preview and a Game Week 3 review for you here today. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you get in the comments, number one, make sure you like the video and make sure you subscribe. As you can see on screen, we scored 82 points. Big rank rise for us. You can kind of see it just a little bit to the side here if I go this far. Our old rank was 3.7 mil. We've come into 2.1 mil. We've changed 1.592. Huge, big green arrow for us this week. Again, it was a lot bigger. I did tweet this out this morning that before Salah went and matched Haaland for 17 points, we were on a huge green arrow. I'm talking we were into about 1.5 mil before Salah went crazy. Again, Jota not returning wasn't fantastic for us, but it is what it is. We did make one transfer last week for those that didn't see the video. I was talking about Leon Bailey. Thank God I didn't end up going there. I ended up going with Morgan Rogers. Again, Rogers did blank in a favourable matchup for Aston Villa, which is a little bit frustrating because we did bring in Conser the week before as well. So looking at the team, Dean Henderson, 6 saves against Chelsea, unbelievable. Just frustrating that we weren't able to get a clean sheet from Crystal Palace. But in the same game, Eberechi Eze finally delivers on some of the promise there that we saw from that 7 million price tag, which is fantastic. Anthony Robinson, again, gets the assist for Adama Traore's goal for Fulham. Frustrating that our boy Muniz wasn't on the end of that one because that could have been a huge rank gainer. And we're going to talk about Muniz a little bit later. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot of talking points in the team other than Ben Johnson not getting any minutes there for Ipswich. But I think he's going to play the bigger games when Ipswich are playing a back 5 versus a back 4. So Twanzabi's going to be the right back in a back 4. Then he drops to right centre back in a 5 and Johnson's going to come in. So I probably can't rely on Ben Johnson too much, which is a little bit disappointing. But again, between Robinson, Trent, Conser and Dunk, we should always have 3 playable defenders. Bukayo Saka, again, one of the most unlucky players this week with the XG data, but again, gets the assist for Havertz's goal. Isak gets the return in a game where he was very quiet as well. So look, plenty of talking points from the team. If you offered me 82 points at the start, I would have 100% taken it. Erling Haaland, another hat-trick. Don't need to talk too much about that. But the big player we need to talk about today is Mohamed Salah. I'm going to leave the screen there just so we don't ruin the rest of the discussion. 14, 10, 17. And this is, as a Liverpool fan, I'm wearing my Liverpool shirt for this reason. Hurts me so much because I had the Haaland-Salah double combo all the way through the offseason. I was committed to having both of them. Then I saw Jota playing as the 9 in the preseason and decided that I wanted to make the switch and try and cover Salah with Jota. Now, Salah's gone 90, 82, 90. The minutes look fantastic. We don't really have another right winger. I was surprised last night that Salah did play 90 minutes. I was really expecting when we're 3-0 up with 15 minutes to play that, that's an opportunity to give Salah a break. But Arne Slot has backed in Salah. You can see his XG numbers there, 0.7, 0.5, 0.5. Gets a goal across each of the 3 games with 2 assists last night and an assist against Ipswich as well. Again, the XA last night was very high because obviously the chances he created for Luis Diaz were very high probability chances that we're going to score. But he's just looking unbelievable. He looks so heavily involved. His goal was well taken last night as well. With Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth coming up for Liverpool, I find it very hard to not want to get Mo Salah in the team. The issue we've got is we've obviously got the international break between now and Game Week 4. So lots of time to wonder what we can do. But I just want to pose the question to you guys and let me know in the comments, what is your current team looking like? Do you have Haaland, Salah, do you have either or do you have both? So obviously at this stage, I've got Haaland, but what are you got and what are you looking at getting? I took this screen grab today, so he's almost 40% owned. So every time he goes nuts, it's going to kill our rank not having him. Haaland is in the 60% owned, so look, I am very much looking at bringing in Mohamed Salah. We'll go through what my team might look like with him in a minute. Before we do that, on the graphic here to the right, now I'm going to zoom in quite a bit. Let's focus up on the forwards because I did say I wanted to speak about Muniz. Now, I just don't want to go too far here because I don't want to get in the way of things. So I don't want to make my camera that small. Let's go to here because we'll scroll down. All right. So this is the graphic on the screen. We've got 7 million forwards maximum 7 million forwards projected points for the next 4 game weeks. So I know it's got more than 4 game weeks on the screen, but the number there, projected points, 21.6 for Chris Wood, is over the next 4. So that is Liverpool away, Brighton away, Fulham home, Chelsea away. I'm very, very surprised that they've got Chris Wood here as the number 1 option. 3 away games in the next 4, Liverpool, Brighton, Chelsea. Could see him scoring against Chelsea. Fulham at home, definitely can see him scoring. What I like about this graphic is it's giving you a representation of the minutes that the forward is likely to play as well. You can see that between Chris Wood and Muniz that they're both predicted pretty much 73, 74 minutes across each game. And you can see what the likelihood of them getting returns are. Now, that was a decision that I had to make early in pre-season. Well, early in pre-season, but during pre-season, I had to make the decision, Wood versus Muniz. Who did I think was more likely to return? I went with Muniz. That has cost me, I think, 13 or 15 points or something. What's Wood gone? 18, 19 versus Muniz's 6 points. So 13 points, I would have been much, much better off with Chris Wood. That's hindsight. Again, you can't predict that. Chris Wood has a few games of low XG, but gets returns. Muniz has lots of high shots in the box and doesn't get a return. Maybe it's something for me in future is not to pick someone like Muniz. Obviously, if I had my time again, I probably would have picked João Pedro, but again, the minutes weren't locked. So there was issues across the board. You had a 1 year with Wood. Muniz, you just didn't know what Fulham were going to do, and João Pedro, you didn't know if he was locked into play. So obviously in second here, João Pedro at 5.7 mil now, 25% owned. Scores against Arsenal, scores against Manchester United. The minutes are fantastic. Hub's got him at 88 minutes as well. Goes Ipswich and Nottingham Forest over the next 2, which are 2 banker fixtures. And João Pedro playing, 88 minutes on penalties. We need to have a discussion. Do we need to make a move for João Pedro this week as well over someone like Muniz, who's not guaranteed to play 90 and also is not on penalties? Is it too reactionary with Muniz now getting 2 home fixtures? That is something that I'm going to have to be deliberating with over the next couple of weeks, especially with the international break. If you were in my position, if you own Muniz, you had 1 free transfer, you also want Salah, do we take a -4 potentially to get Muniz out for João Pedro and we take out somebody for Salah? Let me know down below if you would make that move for a -4. Do we get aggressive at this point of the season before wildcarding? Again, when I wildcard, I'm probably going to keep João Pedro in the team regardless, so it's not like it's a take a -4 for 2 weeks and then potentially wildcarding game week 6. Someone I do like from game week 6, though, if we are to then wildcard as the third forward, would be Johan Wissa. Again, his minutes aren't secure like a Brian Mbeumo, but again, through 76 minutes of Johan Wissa, definitely, very, very good option. And then you go into West Ham, Wolves, Man United, Ipswich, Fulham, Bournemouth. Great run for Brentford. We'll talk about that a bit later on. What I found interesting here was we've got Matheus Cunha on the screen here with 17.8 predicted points over the next 4. Has Newcastle, Villa, Liverpool, Brentford. I wouldn't be going after any Wolves assets until that game week sort of 9-10 area where they get Crystal Palace and Southampton. They get a really nice run, and Ait-Nouri is someone I'd be looking at. Muniz, if you don't have him already, I would be avoiding him. Calvert-Lewin did pop up with a goal. I'm not a fan of going after Calvert-Lewin. He just gets injured, he breaks down. But again, if he can stay fit, he's going to be Everton's talisman this season with some decent enough fixtures. But I think you'd just go João Pedro and save the extra 0.2 mil and go from there. Then what we've got underneath our forwards are the top performing midfielders. So if you're in a position where you need to potentially buy a midfielder, now sorry, I can't get rid of this stuff off the screen, but hopefully it moves away soon. You've got Eberechi Eze there with some fantastic numbers. Can I hide this? No, I don't know how to get rid of that. Oh, there we go. Good enough. I don't want to be adding. Just go over there. All right. So Eze's there with 26.9 predicted points over the next 4. Goes Leicester, Man United, Everton, Liverpool. Again, penalties, 90-minute man. If you don't have Eze, he's only 24% owned. He will be a rank killer if you don't have Eberechi Eze. 100% be going him. And Boomo, you could definitely see going him from game week 5 onwards at 7.1 mil. With that great run with him and Wisser, if you're going to wildcard in 6, you almost need both. Semenyo at 5.5 as an enabler again. You missed the good fixture against Everton. Did get a goal in that one as well. Chelsea at home is not the worst fixture. Liverpool away, ideally you'd bench him. And then from Southampton onwards again, game week 6 wildcard enabler. Probably a better option than a Smith Rowe for me. A bit more attacking. He's out on the wing and he's guaranteed to play 90 minutes most weeks. Matoma is someone, again, João Pedro, everyone's talking about. I'd almost rather João Pedro over Matoma. Again, you're guaranteed the 90 minutes. Brighton don't have Europe, but he's got so many wingers where I think João Pedro is just locking himself away at this point up front. So Matoma, good option, but again, I'd be looking at João Pedro. And then I found it interesting that Bernardo Silva and Solly March rounded out the top options for midfielders over the next 4 weeks. Bernardo, I don't know with Bernardo Silva. He's just not a fantasy player for me. I know he's predicted 90 minutes there. He's definitely not going to play 90 minutes across the board. You've got Phil Foden coming back from illness. You've got Kevin De Bruyne playing in those midfield areas. You've got Savinho. You've got Doku out wide. You've got Grealish. There's too many options, too many rotations. The fixtures aren't that strong for Man City that I would be paying 6.6 million for Bernardo. And then Solly March, again, you've got Minte there at 5.5. You've got Matoma. You got a Dingra. So there's just options out wide. You can see that they've predicted him for 62 minutes against Ipswich and then 82 across the board for Solly March. So I wouldn't be going after Solly March. I think you'd rather go Matoma if you've got 6.5 or 6.6 to spend. If you've got a Leon Bailey that's injured. Again, I wouldn't be making any of these moves until at least next week. But there are options there depending on what your team needs. So I did pose the question, do we go after a João Pedro this week over a Muniz? 3 points doesn't seem a lot over 4 weeks, but what I see from João Pedro is I see Brighton, number 1, are a better offense, better attack, creating more chances. João Pedro is a definite better finisher than Muniz. Probably doesn't need the volume of chances that Muniz gets, and you get penalties, and Muniz is just coming off after 75 minutes for Raul Jimenez. João Pedro is not coming off at all. I haven't seen how far Evan Ferguson is from being away, but I just don't think in this form you could drop João Pedro. So if I'm going to bring João Pedro in, it probably has to be now. I think he's gone up already today, so he shouldn't go up much, but we'll have to look at the price rises. What I've done is I've put my team ahead of Game Week 4 into Fantasy Football Hub. What I've done is, so far, it's Bukayo Saka. So I haven't made this move just yet, but it's Bukayo Saka out for Salah for this 2-week stretch where Arsenal play Tottenham and Man City, where Liverpool play Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth. So I think that's a no-brainer. I'd actually have my captaincy on Salah if I made this move. I know Haaland's has come off 2 hat-tricks, but I think Nottingham Forest at Anfield for Liverpool, Salah can just go crazy in that one, where Brentford, I think, will actually defend really solidly. I don't think Haaland's going to score a hat-trick. Do I think Haaland's going to return? Probably, but I don't see 3 goals, whereas Nottingham Forest, they could potentially capitulate. The main decision I have to make, I've got 0.8 in the bank already as it is Muniz and João Pedro. So that is going to be something that I'm going to be debating over the next week or so. What I'll be doing for the channel is coming up with a more in-depth transfer video for you guys closer to the Game Week 4 deadline, because I feel like it's way too far away with the international break, just in case there's injuries and things that we need to consider, or we get updates on players that are currently injured. So that is where I'm at the moment. That is my current Game Week 4 team. 95 Game Week rating, 97 team rating. The team is starting to look really, really good. I'm pretty happy with it at the moment, and we're moving in the right direction. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you smash a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Get in the comments. Let me know, should I take a -4, or which move should I prioritize? Do I prioritize getting in Bukayo Saka out for Salah, or do I prioritize Muniz out for João Pedro, or do I just do both and take the -4 and really get aggressive? Let me know in the comments, but I'll see you guys very, very soon for our transfer targets ahead of Game Week 4.